Right before we jump into this video, if you'd like me to send you a free guide to capturing motion in low-light situations, head on over to FroKnowsPhoto.com and look for this orange box, put your name, email address in it, hit send it. I'm gonna send you that guide for free. Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and this is a review of the Sony 24-70 2.8 G Master version 2. Now, I took this out to 2 Philadelphia Phillies games because I have an all-access pass to go to any stadium and any game throughout this entire season. Where should I go? What stadium should I check out? Let me know down below. Now, I chose to go to the Phillies game not because this is a great sports lens, but because I have access to the field during the pregame. So during batting practice, I can go out on the field, I can get up close and personal with the players, where a 24-70 should give me that photojournalistic look that I want. Whether it's on the field or in the dugout photographing the manager, getting interviewed, I wanted to use this as a photojournalistic lens and see if it worked out there at the stadium. And also, at the end of this video, there is a slideshow with more images than I'm capable of showing you during the review, so be sure to check that out to see all the different images that I was able to capture. Now let's talk about this lens right here. This is the new version. The original version of the 24-70 G Master came out in 2016, which makes it 6 years old. Recently, they released the 70-200 2.8 G Master version 2, which replaced another 6-year-old lens, and that's why they've gone ahead and done it with this one as well. But Sony tells us that this is not a replacement for the version 1, and I say, bullshit, it's called a version 2 for a reason. Now, it's still going to sell side by side with this lens, but by the end of this, I'm going to tell you whether you should pick up that lens or the Sigma or maybe this one. But let's take a walk around this lens. This is a very light lens, and Sony says, let me get the quote here, world's smallest and lightest 24-70 2.8 zoom lens. This is a small and light zoom lens. It feels really nice in the hands. It is pretty small. Now, in comparison to the first version, let me take the lens hood off of that. This is a chody, heavier, bigger lens. You can see the difference. There is a large difference in size and weight, and let me just tell you those weights right now because I have them. The new one is 1.5 pounds or 695 grams, where the old one is 1.95 pounds or 886 grams. So there is a definite weight difference when you pick them up, and there's a lot of differences here. This lens right here has one switch on it, and that's for autofocus to manual focus. This lens right here has so many more different options that actually make me happy, because you know that I hate having an aperture ring on my lenses. I've said it a million times, but what did Sony do to get it right? Well, they put a lock on there. So if I don't want to use the iris or aperture ring, I can actually lock it and never worry about it at all. But they went a step further. When I unlock it, you have clicking, and if you want it to be smooth, you come over to this switch right here and you click it to off, and then it's going to be a smooth aperture feel. So I don't want that at all. I turn that off and I lock the iris in place. When we keep coming around the lens this way, we have something that says, give me light here. It says smooth and tight. That's for the zoom. You have a very nice throw here. It's a really quick throw from 24-70, which I absolutely love short throws. It makes it easier when you're shooting that you don't have to crank your hand as far as you do with some other lenses. Now, this is a fast zoom. I really like that. But if you're shooting video and you maybe want it to be a little tighter, you move the switch to tighter, and now it doesn't zoom as fast. So that may come in handy for video people. Now, I'm not using this for video. If you want to check out how it works out in video, go check out Gerald Undone. He's going to test it for video. I did it for stills. Now, you still have your old autofocus to manual switch right here. We've got the lens hood with a built-in door that opens here, so if you have a filter in there that you want to control, you can go ahead and do that right there. It doesn't pop off. I thought it came off at first, but it stays on, because if not, you probably would have lost it. And you also have an 82mm lens cap here. That's your filter thread is 82. I didn't expect it, being that it was so small, to be an 82, but it is. This lens does not have IS in it. Now, Canon's, which is right here, which is larger and heavier, does have IS built in. Now, don't forget, you do have image stabilization with the sensor, so you have that. Canon's is great because you get double image stabilization with the lens and with the body, and it's just bigger. Sony went ahead and miniaturized just about everything. It's lighter, it's smaller, it's a fantastic lens. So is a 24-70 from Canon. Look, these are both top of the line lenses from both companies, but just wanted to give you a size comparison. The Canon is bigger, it is a little heavier, but that's not gonna be a reason why you should buy one system or the other. I just wanted to give you a look right there. Now, the Sony has 4 XD linear motors inside of this lens. That's for helping you with fast focusing. Now, I used the Sony A1, which is this, and this lens is designed to take advantage of the fast focusing speed that this camera offers you, as well as the 30 frames a second. And Sony also made a note to say that something like the A7R4, which is a 61 megapixel sensor, is designed to take advantage, this lens is designed to take advantage of the higher resolution cameras. So that's the outside of the lens. Let's move into some of these photos. Don't forget, I've got a slideshow coming up after this. This right here is DD. He is also a photographer. He's a Philly, but we talked for 20 minutes on the field about Sony cameras because he is a Sony shooter. I really enjoyed using the A1 for this, but I will tell you, from someone that's been using an R3 more often, I do feel that the R3 has surpassed in terms of IAF and lock-on tracking. It just seems to find the eyes much better, but I didn't miss with the A1. I really liked what I was able to do here. This is at 29 millimeters, super sharp, great color rendition. I love the colors I was able to pull out of this. Now you have the before unedited image, and then with one click, I got Skittles, and Skittles looks great. Look at the colors I was able to pull out of this. Now, this is a good time to say this slight little rant, is that I'm tired of hearing people say, I can't get good colors with Sony. I can't get good colors with Canon. Oh my God, the Nikon colors are great. I love the Nikon colors, but you can get great colors with anything. You just gotta process it, and it can look great. So speaking of looking great, look at this. So we've got Joe Girardi here in the dugout. He is getting interviewed by the reporters, and I think a 24-70 is a great photojournalistic lens. If you're a wedding photographer, it's going to be great. If you're on the campaign trail, if you're running and gunning, it's going to be a great lens. This is at 70 millimeters. The next image is a vertical at 24 millimeters. We still have all of the press standing around. I just shot this horizontally, and it ended up being like an ass shot because we had both of these guys' asses in there, and I wanted to kind of crop out their butts, so I went vertical. This is what you get at 24 millimeters. But let's go to the next one, because same spot, 70 millimeters, using the guys to draw us in. Look how sharp it is. This A1 is amazing at 50 megapixels. You get such great results with it, and paired with their top of the line with Honors Sir lens, you are getting great colors and great results. Let me jump in here real quick because I want to show you this photo taken with this brand new Sony lens and edited with FroPack 3, starting with Winnebago. Then we've got Prestige Worldwide, followed by Mentos, gives it a really cool look. King Contrast looks awesome. Then we've got Eckert and Fifth Element. But I want to go up to FroPack 1 because I want to show you two different presets that I love on this. One is called Silvertide, and that gives it that awesome silver black and white look. And then my all-time favorite is one called Skittles. With one click of the button, we go from this to Skittles, and it looks absolutely incredible. Now, if you're looking to speed up your RAW workflow or give yourself a great starting point, we created 15 custom Lightroom presets that you can check out right now at FroKnowsPhoto.com/FroPack3. While you're over there, you can play with the sliders to see the befores and the afters. And if you decide to pick them up right now, they are currently on sale. Or if you want to save even more, you can get the triple play bundle with FroPack 1, 2, and 3. Now, let's get back to the video. Continuing on, do you see this guy? This is Miles Kennedy. He is the Philadelphia Phillies official team photographer. I owe so much to his dad. His dad was an AP shooter who taught me so much as a 14-year-old. I owe so much to him. But you see this rope that I kept in there? I wasn't allowed on the other side of the rope during the pregame, during batting practice, but because Miles is the official team photographer, he can go wherever he wants. Love the colors of this. You're gonna see some vignetting on the edges. I don't care about any of that stuff. I'm told by Sony that you have great edge-to-edge sharpness. Does anybody look at that stuff, to be honest with you? It looks fantastic right here. The reason I'm showing Miles, he's got A1s. He went from Nikon, he couldn't wait any longer, and he picked up 402.8, two A1s, and all the glass, and he puts a nice skin on it because he doesn't like the white lens. Next up, we moved over to the opposing dugout, which was in the shaded area where one of the players was about to do an interview. I believe believe he was an ex-Philly. McCutchen, not Metuchen. That's where you get off. That's the Amtrak in the background. You get off at Metuchen. He's McCutchen. Anybody who's local to the Northeast Corridor would get that. So went over here. What are we at? We're at 27 millimeters. Cool range. 24 great, 70 great, everything in between really good. Focus, nice and accurate. Colors, beautiful. Sharpness, exactly where it needs to be. Now, I didn't want to just get the front photo. I've always seen great photos where if you have a press pull, you kind of back away to get the press people doing this instead of just a picture of the person. So I went into the dugout and I went behind the players at a lower angle, made sure I wasn't on TV or in the camera's way, and got this nice shot. Went to black and white because I think photojournalistically it looks absolutely incredible. So once batting practice was over, I had quite a lot of hours to kill before the game actually started. And here, this is a photo of Bryce Harper running back to the dugout to get introduced for the game to start. So I'm on the field right before the game is starting, and he's running towards me. What are we at with this? We are at 24 millimeters on this bad boy, and it was interesting because the lighting wasn't great because it was a night game. It was starting at 7:05, so there's not a lot of light in his eyes because you don't get any of that sun bouncing off of the turf or off of the dirt, and he's wearing a hat, so all the lights are coming from up above. But we were able to get great range with the A1 here, no problem tracking him towards me, nice and sharp, nice and in focus, great color. Even printed this out on the Canon Pro 1000 printer because I love the colors that I get off of that printer. That is our inkjet printer of choice here. If you want this print, let me know down below in the comments that I want this print, and maybe I will ship that print to you. Continuing on, still pregame, where the players are coming back to the bench. I'm showing you this one because of the bokeh, just to show you that yes, you can still get nice bokeh at 2.8 in the background. It's all dependent upon where the subject to background distance is. Closer to me, 2.8. Background's gonna blow out. What am I at on this one? 66 millimeters. So obviously the further you go out with your zoom range, the easier it is to get some of that background bokeh to show up. Now's a good time to tell you that there are 11 aperture blades. There are not 9, there's not 10, there are 11. And that's what it helps you do, get nice, smooth background bokeh. So on my way back to the third base side where they have a photo well at the end of the dugout, I got this photo right here, walking past the dugout. Love the black and white. Love that these guys aren't really looking at me, but I do think that the coach over here is looking at me. But just quickly go past, get down on the knee, get that shot. These guys leave you alone. They're there to do their job. I'm there to get my photos, and then I go into the photo well to start to get the shots. Now, this is not a lens that you are going to use for most sports photography. Photojournalistic stuff, the weddings, you're absolutely going to use this. But this is 70 millimeters is not long enough for just about anything. But the inside position next to the dugout, right near home plate, is a great place to get some wider angle shots just like this one. Now I'm at 70 millimeters here. This is how you get home plate. It's going to be good for action at home plate, but a 70 to 200 is going to be a better choice of a lens from this position. But if you want to get the wider shot to show more of the stadium and show the pitcher and the batter, you want something like this. So this is that inside position. Really love focused right here on Wong. He hits the ball, you can see that it's going out into the field, and it's nice. At 2.8, nice separation. You're not getting that with your cell phone, all right? You're not gonna do that. Now, being that this position is right near the on-deck circle for the opposing team at this park, sometimes they stand right in front of you, so I just bang this shot out at 24 millimeters, and you can see he's super sharp. The colors look great. The sky looks great. Thank you, Skittles from FroPack 1, for helping me with these awesome photos outside. That really handled well. So that was a night game. Being that I have that pass to go to every game, I went back for an afternoon game that started at 4 o'clock the next day because I still had some ideas for what I wanted to capture. So from the inside position, I was able to get this guy sliding into home plate to be safe. You can see that the ball's tailing right behind him. The colors look great. The sharpest. The focus is perfectly there. 70 millimeters is a little wide, but honestly, to get the umpire in here, the player sliding into home plate, some some of the background in there, it was good at 70, but a 70 to 200 is going to be good too, except for if you have a 400 2.8 in one hand and you need to, I see the AP photographers doing this all the time. They lift up the shorter lens because it's lighter and easier to do with one hand, and they bang off those shots as they're happening. But I'm really happy with the results that I got. And the last thing I did, and the reason I went back for that next game, is I wanted to get a photo of Bryce Harper batting and hitting the ball, and I wanted to do it wide. Now, I chose not to do this at 24 millimeters because I wanted it to be, I didn't want the bowing that happens at 24. So I'm at 29 millimeters here, and I made sure to keep the Citizens Bank Park in the background with the Liberty Bell, and here we have Bryce hitting the ball. Now, I could say that it was a home run. It wasn't a home run. It ended up being a foul ball, but it kind of looks like he's putting it into play there, and that's why I went back and got this shot. So I'm really happy with the results that I got. It was interesting going back to use an A1 from using the R3, which I've been using more often when I'm shooting. There's some quirks to it, but 50 megapixels, this thing's awesome. Tied in with this lens, it's awesome. So who is this lens for? If you already own a 24 to 70 2.8 and you're an amateur, you're someone who doesn't do this for a living, or you just go out and shoot every once in a while, you don't need to sell it to get this. Is this a million times better than the other lens? The answer is yes, because I stopped using the 24 to 70 2.8 G Master original one when I was using the A7R4 because I just didn't like the feel of it. I didn't like the look of the images. It just didn't feel as good as the Sigma 24 to 70 2.8 DGDN that came out. That lens was what I chose to use. Now, if I had to choose as a professional which 24 to 70 to use, it's gonna be this one. Now, this one comes in at $2,299. That is pretty expensive, but it's just a little less expensive than Canon's version. And if you're a full-time working pro who already has the original one, you absolutely get rid of that and you buy this, no questions asked. That's the thing about being a pro. You're not gonna micro-analyze every little thing. We save that for the amateurs and the other YouTube people. You know that this is their G Master. It's replacing the 6-year-old lens that was your workhorse. This is gonna be a million times better. You sell that, you spend the money on this because you make a lot of money. Now, with Sony saying that they're keeping the version 1 out there, I still wouldn't recommend buying that one. I would buy the Sigma version because the Sigma is $1,099, whereas the current price, unless they're going to drop it even further, for the G Master version 1 is $2,098. So you can see it's twice as expensive as the Sigma. Now, if you're in Canada and you want to buy this new lens, it's priced at $2,999, which is like 12 million US. It's super expensive over there. There's lots of taxes and all of those different things. Two things we got to do right here. We got to sniff it. Smells like peanuts and Cracker Jack. Yay, wind tunnel test. I'm worried about this because it's super light. It might fly away. Does not pass the wind tunnel test. I thought it might go Wizard of Oz on us and blow away. So yeah, this is a fantastic lens, especially paired with the A1. It's gonna be good on any of the Sony cameras. It's just a matter of, can you afford it? Do you need it? Don't forget, slideshow coming up right now. Thank you guys very much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And that's where I'm gonna leave it. Jared, Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.